Hey folks, Monday, September 29th, 2025. Today, as you can see, we were washed out. Time to go to the cleaners, the shark cleaners, and they took us out. So to make sure that doesn't happen to you, remember that day trading is risky business. You're going to lose money. And you need to consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions. Today, we took 5 trades, all losers, starting out with MSS. And for the month, we gave everything back, just like we did on the 4th, another $300 loss day. We're down over $70 for the month, eating into our August winnings. But we're moving ahead. So here, I like the pattern. It looked like a cup and handle. It looked like it had an opportunity. And we were thinking, well, maybe, we can hit 650. So we jumped in with 30 shares as a starter. And it was looking good. Like and subscribe if you like our videos. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions, advice, anything that'll help below in the comments. So we're looking good here. Now, remember something that I said yesterday in the live. I said the stocks and the pattern may continue this week. And sure enough, and what I said was specifically 1 green bar, 2 green bars, 3 is going to be a red bar that collapses down. And to be honest and truthful, I totally forgot about that, because here I'm thinking, oh, we're going to hit 650 and we're going to move up. And I jump in with 100 more shares. But lo and behold, we started heading down. So it's irony that I mentioned it yesterday. I felt that the stock market was going to do better today. And we certainly saw, we're seeing the SPY and NVDA both move up. NVIDIA is on the verge of breaking 184 if it keeps going throughout the day this way. And the SPY is over 665. So I was looking for more activity, more action, and we certainly did get it. There were quite a few symbols moving this morning. MSS, POAI, OTLK. In the early market, GFB and DFLI were also moving. STKH were also movers. We got in a little bit late. So we started about a little about 5:30 to jump in and started to take a look. And MSS had moved up from just under $1 all the way to 5. So we thought it had an opportunity, but we should have known better that $4 is a huge move and probably its limit. And so here come the red bars. And at this point, our thought was, well, let's hold it and wait for the reclaim. But unlike last week, this week was a lot busier. People weren't hanging on to one stock and trying to reclaim it. They would just moved on to the next one. And so we got hurt. I got to tell you guys a story. On Friday, we made $99, right? We had a good move up and we were down, 24. So we had a trade that made us $123. And Thursday evening into Friday morning, this cricket shone up in my room and he was hanging right above the monitors, almost all the way to the ceiling. And typically what we do is we put him in a jar and we take him outside. But this time I told my wife, no, let's just leave it in there. And it brought me luck, because if I were to tell you that I was a real great trader and that's the reason I made $99 on Friday, I'd be lying to my three teeth. So I created the cricket. Now, obviously, we took the cricket out, put him outside after we traded. But yesterday, my wife teased me at least 5 times. Do you need a cricket? Do you need a cricket? Are you going to need a cricket? And I was kidding with her. Yeah, you need to go outside and get me a cricket. And today, without a cricket, uh, we failed miserably. Now, of course, I'm not superstitious. It is just story filling time here. Well, you guys watch me lose $157 in this trade. So we changed up the screen. I removed the bull logo and the large date and time that were down there so we could expand the time and sales. And I'm thinking of moving the time and sales up so that I can move the watch list over a little bit more so you guys can see more of what's missing there on the, or is being cut off onto the right. We put a little ticker in there to make sure it reminds you guys that we are not financial advisors and that we're essentially gambling with money, with real money, and we're losing real money on a 2K account. And we were somewhere around 2,600. This takes us back down to 2,300. Our drawdown now for the last, 18 months is $2,000. And like I mentioned before, to me, that's the cost of being taught or learning. So I entered this trade before you guys, before I started recording on OBS again. And based on the trend reversal there, I didn't want to enter too early. And maybe in retrospect, maybe I should have. But yeah, it didn't turn out good. I got filled at 558 because I bought what I was expecting to be the high over that green bar. And once you're down $157, what you begin to do is you try to begin to mitigate your losses, and then you get into more trouble. And that's essentially what happened here. And by the way, none of these trades that we took on these symbols, of all the ones I mentioned, are up right now. About 10 minutes ago, I looked, and the symbols that are moving in the open market are totally different. None of these are included. So it was definitely an aggressive bear move to sell off whatever was rising. And it's a huge bears and bulls fight today, I think. That's going to probably last through the day. So here we get a nice push, but of course, we're looking for more than $22. So this is what I was waiting for. And that's what I meant about waiting for the reclaim, except that the problem here today was that there were too many other stocks moving. So as opposed to last week where folks stuck themselves with one stock and continue to have it reclaim and climb up, today they were moving on to other stocks. So that's what we were seeing. So the pattern for tomorrow's pre-market is going to be the same, I think. It's going to be stocks rising quickly, dumping very quickly after 2 bars, and then moving on to the next one. And a lot of that has to do with the news. So of course, Monday you're going to put out news. And I mentioned also last week that the news doesn't matter. So on Friday after hours, and I'm just going to talk about POAI here. I flipped onto it for a little bit, and you see the press release there. Its press release for POAI said that it received a $344 million private placement, which infuses the company with a hell of a lot of cash. On Friday after hours, JFB put out news that they had received a $44 million private placement, and the stock shot way up from $5 all the way to $12, $7. Today, POAI fizzled on $344 million private placement announcement. So, and at the same time, the POAI was slightly moving up. There was another stock, ZURA, which is the next stock we're going to trade, and that had no news. Absolutely no news. But yet this one moved more than POAI. POAI actually collapsed back down. So the content of the news, if you start reading into it, whether it's really good, and you start rating it, is going to mislead you. So don't buy into that. Don't go too deep into that. Remember, we're trading momentum. So what we're looking for is we're looking for volume. We're looking for time and sales to move quickly. We're looking at the level 2 to make sure we get a nice influx of bids. And if you have sort of a ladder, some type of price ladder like the active trader here in Thinkorswim, then we're looking for those numbers to be up there. And specifically when they are in the double digits, they are better. If you got double digits on both the bid and the ask, then that means folks are buying. And the stocks that really move, you'll see triple digits on both sides. And of course, you want a low float stock. You don't want stocks that are over 20 million in shares, because a $20 million or less float with lesser shares is going to create more of a demand. Anything above it, it's a little bit flaky. Now, we've traded $100 million float stocks before and made money, but it's a matter of timing, and it has to be a bull market. So here we lose another good amount of money. I think a little over $70, and we just decided to get out. DWTX was moving. It's a little higher price. We're not going to make a whole lot of money at this. We've got only $622 left in our cash reserve, so we're going to use that up. And what we're looking for here is $25, $50, something that will ease the pain. And we're not going to accept anything less than that amount. 25 to 50 is what we're looking for. And that may be a mistake, because you could have taken a winning trade here. And, even though it's only a few bucks, it's only a few bucks. But we're already down $272, losing another $10, $15, or making $10. Either way, not going to do much for us. So the Sharks and the Bears took us to the cleaners today. We had to give up our shirt for the month, and we'll come back tomorrow. We're not discouraged. We're not sad. There's no violin music playing. There's no tears. This is part of what happens. And it's important for folks watching that this is going to happen to everyone. If you're on the stock market, you're day trading with real money, you're going to have losses like this. Now, you can celebrate great days, and there are better traders out there than me that are probably making money today. And I'll probably look at those on YouTube as soon as I'm done here. But at least for me, today just wasn't clicking. And there's nothing that I did Perhaps maybe the only thing I did was I didn't follow my advice yesterday. 1, 2 bars, 3 is down. And you can see that pattern right here. 1 green bar, 2 green bar, and then a third red bar. And that seems to be the pattern. So that's what we got to look forward to for, I think, the next week. I still think the market is going to kick up higher, probably during the day. NVIDIA will kick up above 184. So maybe I should have bought more NVIDIA. That's what I should have done instead of diddle daddling with a 2K account. But right. So anyway, hope you guys had a better day than I did. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you back in tomorrow's recap.